My name is Garcia, and I will present to you my portfolio defense. I'm Colombian. I'm from my mom's side, and Mexican from my dad's side. I'm from a small city named Hayward. I've been living here my whole life. Some things I like to do is ride dirt bikes, ride regular bikes, and cook. And I cook some pretty bomb banana bread. My mindset that's gonna be backing up everything that I'm talking about is growth mindset. Okay, next slide. I make benuelos. I haven't made enchiladas yet, but that's next. And I forgot to put a picture, but it's supposed to be a picture of my banana bread. That's supposed to be there. So yeah, and next slide. Let's go with mindset. And then next slide. Alright, this is my narrative. I started riding bikes when I was 8 years old. I rode bikes every day, up and down the street, from sundown to sun up. I started getting better, but I really wasn't as good as I thought I was. The only trick I knew was getting the front wheel up, and as soon as I got it up, it fell right back down. I started to do this more often and got used to when to put it back up and when to put it back down. So when I popped up, I pedaled harder and fell back too fast, and I caught myself. I was so mad I rode home, and I left my bike on the porch, and I ran in and got some water. I stopped riding bikes for a month, and I forgot most of what I learned. By the time I went back out again, it wasn't there. And I was so mad that the bike that my sister got me was gone. So then I had gotten a mountain bike, but it wasn't really doing the job somehow, and the gearbox broke on it. So when I tried to switch gears, it would not go to the next gear, just be on the single gear. But I didn't ride that bike for a while, so that was just left in the garage. So 5 months later, I saved up $450 and got a SoCal flyer there, and my mom helped me pay the rest. Now since I got a new bike, I have grown and learning new ways to eat easier. Now all my growth has paid off, and now I can wheelie from block to block and doing many tricks while I wheelie. But the tricky thing about wheeling is that it's like a unicycle, so you have to have very good balance so you won't tip to the right or to the left or fall back. The first thing that I needed to learn was take more risks. I need to do this because it's a bigger bike, and I never had a 24-inch bike before. So I needed to put more power into pulling it up at the right time. So a week later, I worked on using the brake. So when I'd fall, I'd catch myself by using the brake. So I decided to make a chart to track my progress. And the next thing that I had to learn also about braking was if I had to brake too early, I'd fall forward, and if I brake too late, I'd fall back and most likely catch myself by using my left foot or not at all and bump my head on the floor. Finally, just maybe 4 months ago, I got everything down: braking, leg strength, and I lean back more, which deals with taking risks because it's scary. And if I don't use the brake at the right time, I'll fall back and hit my head. Some tricks that I can do is foot over frame, which I put my foot over this part right here. And then the next trick is I can put my foot over the bar while leaning. And the next trick is I can put my foot under my butt or put it on the seat. And then the next trick is I can swerve, like if somebody's standing there. I go that way. And then I could do a one hand, like go like this, like flexing, or like do that stuff. One of the scariest tricks that I kind of can do, but not really, is do a 12 o'clock, which is, if you look at the clock, it's a 12 and then the 6. You have to be like parallel, so the wheels have to be like straight up and down. And it's scary, but it's pretty satisfying at the same time because you got the trick down. It's pretty cool to show off. When I ride, I usually with Elijah, but sometimes he's not over because he lives in San Leandro, and I live in the hills, so it's like a long drive. And when I usually do ride with him, he gives me tips on what to do when I'm wheeling, like if I brake earlier or to brake later, and just give me more tips to do better on my skills. So 5 months later, which is now, I ride my bikes as I do in my dreams. I have taken enough risks and grown as a person with new skills and led myself to use new strategies. Growth mindset has helped me grow as a person because it made me take way more risks than I ever would before and made me reflect on how I can improve with cooling. Growth mindset has truly helped me with riding bikes and dirt bikes and cooking and just helped me overall. Alright, next slide.